Hi, this is Reb Yerachmiel from Zichron Yaakov, Israel, or as some of you call me, Grandpa Jim, or as some of you call me, Coach, or as some of you call me, I better not say that. So, I'm sitting outside on a low stool, this thing here, because it's Tishe B'Av. It's the night of Tishe B'Av, and I wanted to make a video about Tishe B'Av for you guys. Imagine I have a nice cup of cold water in my hand right now, cold Coca-Cola, cold non-alcoholic beer, and it's 4 in the afternoon on Tishe B'Av tomorrow, and I really want to drink that thing, but I won't. You know why? Because I don't want to drink that thing, but I do want to drink that thing. So, what's going on? We have a guf, it's a body, and we have a neshama, a soul that Hashem gave to us, and put it in this body, and then every night it goes up to Shemaim to get clean. It comes back down in the morning, and so we thank God for that. And eventually go back up to Shemaim, and the body wants things and needs things, and Hashem commands us to eat things. At the same time, we need to draw a line between the physical and the spiritual. So I want to drink that glass of water, and I don't want to drink that glass of water. And if we're doing things right, we don't. What's amazing is, we have 2 daughters who have the Prader Willi syndrome, and I'll put a link in the description so you can see what that's about. They never get the message from the belly to the head, like the rest of us do. You're full. You can stop eating now. So, there's some tragic events all the time of a Prader Willi child who finds too much food and eats it, and their stomach explodes, and they die. Or it could be that they eat so much, and their parents don't help them to stay thin, and they reach a weight, and the body can't support the weight, and they get heart problems. It's a terrible, terrible syndrome. And yet, our 2 girls will go the entire Tishe B'Av without eating anything. They'll get up any other night, middle of the night, if they can steal some food, they'll steal it. Or find it on a plate, grab it before you know what's happening. But they will not touch it on Tishe B'Av. And they will not touch it on Yom Kippur. Amazing. How is that possible? Well, there's an old saying that it's probably come out backwards for you. Sorry. No pain, no gain. If you want to achieve something, you want to do something great in life, you're going to have to work. There has to be a pain. There's be effort. There's another theory that I heard from a guy named Woodrow Allen. And his theory is a simpler one. No pain, no pain. Why go to the gym? But that's for another time. Okay, so first, let's take a look at this chart. I want to show you that there's a whole cycle here that's a quarter of the year about, and it started back in the previous month, the month of Tammuz, on the 17th of Tammuz, which was the beginning of the 3 weeks, and it goes through into the month of Av, to today, the 9th of Av, when we have restrictions on music and on the things we're not allowed to do because they bring us pleasure. And this is supposed to be a time of mourning, of crying, like somebody cries over a lost loved one. Now, in that case, you get it all, pow, right at the beginning, and then it tapers off. You have the week of Shiva, then you have the 3 week, the month, 30 days, then you have the 11 months. With us, it's different. we build up to it. It's like the doctor says, okay, I want to see you in 3 weeks on such and such a date. And the patient says, well, I'm sorry, I have a levaya that day. Can we do it a different time? That's for the grown-ups. So we have this period of 22 days. Then there's another period of 22 days after we get through Av, and then we get into the month of Elul, which is the month in which we prepare for Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. And we go out into the field and meet God. God is ready to talk to you at any moment in a much more accessible way than usual. And then we get to the period from Rosh Hashanah up to Simchat Torah, and that's another 22 days. These are sad, these are happy, but someday these will be happy. And Tishe B'Av will be a Yantav. So we have that to look forward to. Now, I want to start off with an old saying you may have heard. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words can never hurt me. Words can never hurt me. Did words ever hurt you? They hurt me sometimes. You know, you have tremendous power over everybody around you. Anyone you talk to, parent, child, friend, you go up to the most powerful man on earth and you say to him, there's a spot on your tie. He gets a little ping, a little drip of bad juice goes into his brain. It hurts. He gets rid of it. Some children grow up in a home with so much negativity and yelling and screaming and chas v'shalom hitting. All they get is bad drops. And they grow up feeling terrible. God willing, you live in a home like I grew up, where there's positivity all the time, love, caring, nice words. And you get drip, 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 drip of nice words, and you feel good about yourself. You have that power over everybody around you. Do you realize you say something nice to somebody, makes them feel good? When you're a parent, you're putting out drips 1,000 times a minute. And they're happy drips, or they're, I don't even think about it. Okay. So what's interesting is, sticks and stones can break my bones, words can never hurt me. The Holy Temple, which was destroyed on this day long ago, was made out of sticks and stones. Right? So it was made out of the cedars of Lebanon, huge, tall trees, powerfully built, very strong wood. And they were sent down to build the Holy Temple by Hiram, a king who lived to the north. And you can read about this in the first book of Kings, 5-9, Melachim Aleph, please. And also, now these stones were put there by the evil king Herod. These are not the original first stones of the second Beis HaMikdash, but substantially, the whole place was built out of sticks and stones. And words destroyed them. Words can destroy sticks and stones. How? Well, there was a story, Kamsa bar Kamsa, a guy, rich man, threw a party. He said, I'm going to invite my good buddy Kamsa to come to the party. This is in Gemara Gittin. And guy walks into this huge party. It's bar Kamsa. His servant made a mistake. Oh, I thought I gave the invitation to Kamsa. I gave it to bar Kamsa. He said, you know, I love Kamsa. You know, I hate bar Kamsa. Bar Kamsa walks in. They've had bad blood for years and years. And the rich guy says, get out of my party. And bar Kamsa's embarrassed. These people, they look, they see his commotion. He says, please, let me stay. I'll pay for my dinner. I'll give you the money. What do you get out? I'll pay for everybody's. I'll pay the entire party, thousands of whatever. Get out. And nobody stands up and defends him. He's so humiliated and angry. And he goes and he tells the emperor in Rome, these Jews, they're thinking bad things about you and they're planning to do something bad. And I'm not too sure. They've been pretty good with me lately. I don't know what the problem would be. He says, I'll tell you what. I'm going to send a peace offering, an animal to be sacrificed, because Gentiles can do that in the Beit HaMikdash, as a peace offering, and see if things can get worked out. But Bar Kamsa is mad. He said, I'm going to put a little cut on the eyelid of that lamb, and according to the rest of the world, it's still a good offer. But according to Torah law, can't offer it. So he brings it, they bring it to the Holy Temple, and they say, no, no way, can't take it. The word gets back to the emperor in Rome. They wouldn't accept my sacrifice. Yeah, well, I had a cut on it. Well, so what? That's not a problem. They do hate me. Within a few years, the whole Beit HaMikdash is destroyed. Jerusalem, the holy city, is no more. Jews are many, many killed, carried off to slavery. Words. Destroyed, sticks and stones. Amazing. Now, I was looking at this Tishe prayer book tonight, and it mentions a story in here of, where do you go? My old friend Plato. You know Plato and Socrates, the Greek guys? So it says in here that Plato saw, what was it? So one of the rabbis, after the destruction, it's Yirmiyahu, the Navi. He says, what are you doing? He says, I'm crying. What are you crying about? The Beit HaMikdash, it was destroyed. Plato, the philosopher, says, you're a great man, Yirmiyahu. You're crying over a building? He says, Plato asked him two questions. One, behold, you are the preeminent sage. You're a very smart guy, well respected in Israel. It's not proper for you, a man as great as you, to cry over a building of sticks and stones. It says right here. See? Sticks and stones. And he says, Yirmiyahu says, I'll answer all your questions. And can answer those questions. Plato couldn't believe it. This guy knows a heck of a lot more than I do. Yirmiyahu says, all the wisdom I have, I got from that building. Don't tell me about sticks and stones. It's not sticks and stones. Okay. There was a man named Martin Judowitz. He lived in Boca Raton. Of blessed memory. And he had a cousin who was the Deijer Ruv in Romania. And there was the father and there was the son, the uncle and the cousin. And he went off to, there was a man who had a sick son. He went everywhere to try to get him healed. He happened to come to the city of Deijer, and he sees a huge crowd over near the synagogue, and he says to somebody, what's going on there? So, people are going to our rabbi for brachas. Oh, yeah? What's a bracha? Well, bracha is that he asks God to heal you, to give you money, whatever it is that you need, and he has such a strong connection that it would pain Hashem not to give it, and often he gives it. Not always, but often. And the man says, well, would he do that for a Gentile? For a non-Jew? And God says, I don't see why not, but let's go ask. So they walk through the crowd, they get up to the helper, the assistant to the rabbi, and the Jew says, this non-Jew wants to know if he could get a bracha for his sick son from the rabbi. And the assistant goes in, comes back out, and says, the rabbi says, come in right now. So they walk in, they walk up to the Rebbe. And the man explains the whole sad story. He's crying. And the Rebbe says to him, your son will be healed and he will lead a long, healthy life. The guy says, oh, I can't believe it. He felt, this is true, this is real, this is going to happen. He wouldn't lie to me. He wouldn't make it up. What can I do? Can I give you money? I'll do anything you want. And the Rebbe of Deijer says to him, be nice. That's all. Be nice. So, years later, the Nazis, come into Romania, and they're rounding up Jews and murdering them. And the Deijer Rebbe said, I'm not going to get on the truck. I'm going to take my wife and my 11 children and go out in the woods. I'd rather trust Hashem than trust the Germans. So he's out there, and they run out of food, starving. So the mother and the one daughter who looks least Jewish see a farm woman. They walk up to the farm woman and say, "Can you help us?" She says, "What do you need?" He says, "We need food." She says, "How many are you?" He says, "Well, there's myself and my daughter, 10 more children and my husband." What? So farm woman says, "I have to get my husband." Husband comes out and says, "Yes, what is it?" He says, "I want to see the man. I want to see all the kids." So you have 13 people out there on the edge of the forest. And he says to him, "Who are you?" He says, "I'm the Deijer Ruv." The farmer says, "You're not the Deijer Ruv. He was shorter than you and fatter than you." The man says, "That was my father." So the farmer says to him, "You know, there was a guy who had a son who was very sick, and your father healed him many years ago. I am that son." And he took the Deijer Rebbe and his wife and the 11 kids into his house for the rest of the war. If the Germans found him, they would kill him. Took them in and fed them, kept them safe. Deijer Ruv eventually ended up in America. Be nice. Don't say mean things. You have a choice. Sometimes you want to say a mean thing. Don't say the mean thing. Say the nice thing. Now, is it bad if you want to say a mean thing? Well, we're not angels. We're people. You know when Hashem's happy? Oh, there's my friend. I'll say a nice thing to him. Anybody could do that. That guy was mean to me. I'm going to say, "Hi, how are you? I hope you're well." Hashem looks down at a man who does that. If we could all do that, if we could all be nice and loving and not say nasty things and do nasty things. The temple was destroyed because of sinas chinam, of people having hatred against each other. What's the remedy? How do you cure that? You have to have love for each other. And that's what the lesson of Tishe B'Av is. Do we want the temple restored? In fact, we don't care. What temple, what? By 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, if you haven't eaten since dinner the night before, you want to eat. You want to drink. You want to be able to play video game. What is it? If that's the position you're in, you begin to feel a tiny bit of how you ought to feel of wanting the Beis HaMikdash to come back. So, be nice. Be nice to your friends, be nice to your family, but also be nice to the people that aren't always friendly to you, always nice to you. Those words can build the third temple. Just like words destroyed the second one. And lastly, to get out of here, it's hard for me to get up. I'm going to show you something. I'm going to show you, we have the Holy Temple inside. We made it during COVID, during a shutdown. The kids and I, mainly, Huadina did a lot of it. And there it is. That's the kotel. And the third Beis HaMikdash. It took me over 10 days to drink enough wine to get all these corks to make it. So, I hope that we can each strive a little more to be nice. Jew, Gentile, doesn't matter. Everybody's made by God. If we can be nice, we can bring back the third Beis HaMikdash, and you'll see just how good it is. Bye. Or say goodbye. Oh, okay.